Hello everybody and welcome back to Odin's Movie Vlog. I am the critic who is a cynic. How is everybody doing this evening? Gator Zero is in here 65 minutes early, so he's probably gone at this point. What's going on, bruv? Perth Comics, what is going on, bruv? Chipper Williams, how is it going, sir? That's a new name to the channel, so welcome. A person, that music is so epic, I expect Odin to come out with a golden crown and a scepter. Ooh, that sounds like a fun idea for the possible future. Peabody is here is going as well. What's going on, Mr. Peabody? Nemesis 08 Odin. Thank you, Nemesis. Appreciate that. Marvel Man TV, what's going on, bro? Will Gentry, Dead Red Herring, Ariak Drake, really shook up the Larson fans. Oh my god, dear guys, if you have not seen the video that I did today, even if you don't want to watch it, just open it up just to see the like to dislike ratio. Oh my gosh, I have triggered so many Brie Larson fan people. It is absolutely hilarious. The woke police are out in full force, and it's insane. And also, one of my patrons, the DJD Show, has told me that there is apparently a tweet out by a Captain Marvel superfan who is giving people instructions on how to get false flags on videos, and is getting the trend, getting something trending on Twitter called false flag or report Ethan Van Sciver. So to say that some of us in this community have pissed off a lot of people would be a tremendous understatement. It is insane. It is absolutely insane that these people cannot take criticism, that they cannot take just a point of view and a perspective, and that they have to go and have to do those types of stupid things. Josiah Koval, Josiah, what is going on, bro? Nico Blue, what's going on? Super Anime Gamer, hey-o! How are you doing this evening? I'm doing just fine, I'm full of energy right now because all of the woke warriors are just giving me so much energy and so much just, so much, ammunition, you know? Soul Assassin, what's going on, bruv? What is going on? CT, what is going on, bruv? How is it going? Yeah, seriously, it's not surprising at all. They do have projection issues. You're so right about that. It's so funny that they can't understand that the Captain Marvel character that they're being given at this point is not a good or strong female character. In fact, I would say that she's a weak female character because if the woman behind the character is not strong, if the person behind the character is not going to be an example for others, is not going to lead others, then I'm sorry, but the character at that point, in a movie that is, has definitely failed. Ariak says, I told you it's the feminazi Twitter collective. It's insane. It really is insane. It's so funny, too, because the video goes live, and you're asking yourself the question, like, are these people, like, subbed to me so they get the notifications so that way they can, like, instantly downvote the video? Or are they just, like, on Twitter and on YouTube constantly being like, oh my gosh, Captain Marvel, what's the latest Captain Marvel news? Oh no, you're going against Captain Marvel, I must attack you. It's like, go back to your safe space already. Indeed, the woke warriors are insane. Nemesis 08 says, I don't get it. You're just calling out their BS and they can't handle it. There's something really wrong in the world right now. Seriously, no, there is. I mean, it's because everyone's protected. I was talking to some people at work earlier today, even with just the students at our schools and their parents. Everyone is so protected. Everyone is so entitled in today's world where if you don't fall in line with them exactly, oh my gosh, you are a bigot. Oh my gosh, you are hateful. And then when someone actually says bigoted things, people say, no, well, they agree with me politically, and so therefore I'm going just to, you know, dance around and spin around and do whatever I can to defend them. God forbid that I actually have a backbone and stand up for the things that I claim to believe in. But no, it's a part of the overall culture of today's world, and it's sad. It's really sad. Well, Gentry says, Odin, this is creepy. This is the first time I've been here without any Valkyries. I feel like my MU has just let out to play on my room on my own. Oh, my ma has just let me out to play on my own for the first time ever. Yeah, I'm not sure where they are. I think that they may have thought that I was going to be live at the regular 6:30 time. I did put 6:15 because I know that the High Council goes live at 8, so I wanted to give me a little 15-minute window so that way I could be on for a full amount of time and not have to leave early. But it is kind of interesting to have no Valkyrie. So Frank is here, so we do have a mod in here, but no Valkyrie. It's insane to me, too. It really is. Big Dad Sunbeam, what's going on, bro? Neff Champion. Odin, I wouldn't be surprised. No, seriously, I would not be surprised either. I would not be surprised if there is just a group of people whose sole occupation and job is to find anyone that has anything that is not exactly lining up to what their college professors taught them and are going to just go out and false flag and attack and everything. I'm honestly surprised the video has not been demonetized at this point, especially since they're now actively disliking and going after videos. I'm surprised they didn't try to like false report me or something to that effect. And to be honest, I'm not saying that it's not eventually going to happen, because that's the kind of thing that these people do. Like, seriously. They're crazy. They're crazy people. Frank is here. What's going on, Frank? Marcos Cordero says, Saludos. What is going on, Marcos? How's it going, good sir? Jagan75 says, hello. How is it going, Jagan? Super Anime Gamer says, wait, I didn't see your video yet today. Did you trigger the feminazi army? Oh, gosh, yes, I did. The video's... so basically, I think they saw the title of the video, and they're like, no, you can't say that about Captain Marvel. You can't say that about Brie Larson. She's great. Because basically, the whole point of the video is that I honestly think that at this point, if Brie Larson continues to go in this direction, and if the movie is even somewhat close to her personality, and even close to trying to push for her kind of agenda in even subtle ways, I think it definitely leaves some danger for future female-centric films. Because in the future, then, people are just, like, if you already are, you know, driving out people, if you're already in the process of pushing people away from your franchise, pushing people away from this so-called new concept of female-led films, well, if this is the new norm for female-led films, well, then what you're doing is you're creating an atmosphere where people are not going to support any of those characters. Now, luckily, we do have the DCEU, which gave us Wonder Woman and is going to give us Wonder Woman 1984, and they're still sensibly not going in this woke direction, which is awesome, which is great, which is why that movie, the first movie, made over $800 million at the box office. The reason why so many people fell in love with Gal Gadot, because she is a badass kick-ass lady, not alone just a badass kick-ass character. But even that is in jeopardy, because if they are able to just sour the concept, the so-called new concept that they're trying to push out there before the movie even comes, I'm sorry, like they are really putting themselves in danger. And I think it's honestly what they want to do, because if they're successful, then they'll just say, oh, well, it's all because of all the stuff that we did. It's because we were woke that people went to go see it. But then if it's not successful, they'll say, oh, well, you know, it's just a bunch of all the white man babies out there. It's all the white racist men out there that didn't want to support a woman. It's like, no, we don't mind supporting anyone, whether they're male, female, black, or white. It doesn't matter. We will support anything as long as it's a good story, good character, and fine, upstanding people behind the camera as well. That's why we liked Wonder Woman. That's why we went out of our way to see and support Wonder Woman. It's not that we don't like women. It's just that we don't like this woman. Very, very specific there. Greta, what is going on? Greta, Will Gentry, what is going on? Mom, I figured it was a typo. I figured as such that it was probably a typo of some sorts. Let's see what we got here. Virus threats. Let's see. Soul Sign says, no Valkyries. I'm scared the trolls will get inside the chat. Well, if they do, I'm sure that you will all destroy them in due time. Frank says, no puppies yet. Ah, well, I hope everything's fine. Gator Zero saw you in the chat early, so welcome back. Super Anime Gamer says, your SJW voice is the greatest things I've ever heard. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm sure it's also annoying, which is what it's supposed to be. So I guess that means it's good. If it annoys you, then I've done my job. And that makes me happy. Will Gentry says, Odin, it's happening now because Carl Manvers is so damn important to these people. They want it to be the female version of Black Panther, and it just isn't. So they're going extra hard at any rate. And here's the interesting thing, too. Where was all of this when Wonder Woman came out? Isn't it interesting that they didn't go in this direction? In fact, the same people, the same SJW army, the same feminazi army that is going out in giant support of Brie Larson, the whole reason why they're doing that is because Brie Larson is one of them. Is because Brie Larson has bought into it all. She's drunk the Kool-Aid. She's in the Kool-Aid. She is the Kool-Aid itself, as the Mary Sue has made it very clear. And so that's the reason why they're coming out in support of her. Why didn't they support Wonder Woman? Oh, wait, that's right, because Gal Gadot is not a part of that nonsense. She doesn't buy into that nonsense. She doesn't believe that she's being held back by anything. She just says, this is a movie, this is a character, and it's a great character at that, and boom, we're doing it. Which is what any movie and any character should be. But Captain Marvel has been from the very beginning, from the very inception. As I said before, this isn't even just about the movie or the trailers. Let us go back to the fact that this character, the Captain Marvel character, the Carol Danvers Captain Marvel character, is based on a 2012 reboot that has been rebooted at least 4 times because the comics aren't selling, because the Whammon, who decided to reboot it and decided to take on the job, has brought in such a woke SJW NPC identity politics driven nonsense narrative that no one wants to see it. And yet Marvel thought, hey, that sounds like the character, that sounds like the storyline we should pick up. Not Miss Marvel, who's got years and years of background experience. Not Rambo, who I just found about today, who sounds like a badass character who can like manipulate light and become any type of light in existence. Like oh my god, like that to me is a much better character. Just watching the 5-minute video on was it Monica Rambeau's character, I was like, why didn't we get this Captain Marvel? It would fit all of your little woke boxes, but at the same time, oh no, we can't do that. It's got to be this person. Because then, oh, we couldn't do that because then there's a risk that the actress that we choose might not be woke like us. And we can't support Whammon who aren't woke like us because otherwise they're just a victim of the patriarchy. They're just a part of the patriarchy. We can't support that. It's so ridiculous. It's really just, oh my gosh. It is ridiculous and it is insane. That is what it is. But yes, I love setting them off. I love making them go crazy because all they do is they prove our point. All they do is make us look better. All they do is just show everyone why we want movies like this to fail, why we want people like Brie Larson to fail, because we don't want this nonsense being shoved down our throats and becoming the new norm. Because if it becomes the new norm and more people become brainwashed to this type of thinking, oh, God help everything. Zorro, what's going on? Hey, Odin, how is it going? Sticking to the SJWs as usual? Oh, always, man. Always sticking it to the SJWs every single damn day, man. Nemesis 08 says the people pushing these agendas are the same people that think participation trophies build self-esteem. Oh, God, participation trophies. Everyone's a winner. No. If you lose, that's fine. Accept defeat. Become confident in defeat. That's how you learn. That's how you grow. That's how you go on to better yourself. Just saying, oh, you tried, and oh, as long as you try, that means you did the best you could, and that means that you were the best that you could possibly be. That is what makes everyone so damn entitled. Because they think, oh, I don't have to do work. Oh, I don't have to be better. I don't have to go faster, stronger, whatever the new damn mantra is from the Captain Marvel trailers. I don't have to do that. And that is just the mindset that's being perpetuated by all this nonsense today. Let's see. Mark Anderson says, your voices rock. Well, thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. A Peterson, a person, thank you very much for pointing that out, guys. 70 people, 86 people now watching, and only 7 likes at the time. Hit that like button. You know the SJWs are going to be coming out in force to down-like this video, to do everything that they possibly can, to go after me and to go after Ethan Van Sciver and all these other people. They're going to try and take us down. They're going to try and silence our voices. You want to know why? Because they can't come at you with facts or have a discussion. All they can do is say, no, we gotta shut you up. We gotta shut you up. It's amazing to me. It is truly amazing to me. And they think it helps. They think it makes their, they think that it makes their entire campaign seem more palatable and it's gonna win that. No, it's not. Absolutely not. Dion says, hail to you, sir. Eating a taco and flying, of course. Well, eating a taco and flying, that sounds like a great combination. Edward Coleman says, feminists will label you a sexist and come after you because facts don't matter, feelings do. Yes, in their mindset, in the SJW feminazi mindset, it's all about how you feel. I mean, just look at everything that they're pushing for these days. If you feel like a woman, you're a woman. If you feel like a man, then you're a man. If you feel like insert anything here, well, then that is what you are. Your perception of reality is reality itself, when reality is no. Reality is reality. Truth is truth. And your feelings don't have any impact on what is true or what is real. Facts don't care about your damn feelings. So thank you for pointing that out, Edward Coleman. Heathen Breathing Fire says, we went from Wonder Woman to It's a Wonder She's a Woman in Superheroes with Captain Whammon. No, you're absolutely right. We went from Wonder Woman, which is like, oh, awesome, great, superhero film. We've been wanting, you know, people have been waiting for a redo of this character in the live action format for a long time now, since the original character came out, what, in the 1980s? So it's been a long time coming, and they didn't get caught up in the identity politics. They did not get caught up with, oh my gosh, she's a Whammon, she's a Whammon. I mean, even with the name Wonder Woman, they did less. Wonder Woman did less to point out that she was a woman than Captain Marvel did, which I think is a very big point as to not only why we're being so vocal about it, but also why that film was so successful. because people don't care about that nonsense. Sub to PewDiePie says, Jonathan Wiggins, damn right, bruv. Damn right. Appos Dyer, what's going on, bruv? Super says, Odin was thinking about it, and I think that you said about Iger yesterday is true for most higher ups. I think Disney isn't policing Brie because they think people will give them money no matter what. No, I think you're absolutely right. I honestly think that in their minds, they can do whatever the hell they want because they're not going to lose anybody. But as I pointed this out, and it's so funny to see people in videos saying, it's not the same as Star Wars. You're just bringing all your Star Wars hatred into MCU. No. The fact is that if it can happen to Star Wars, it can happen to any franchise. Star Wars was one of the biggest franchises in the world. And back in 2018, last year, the first ever film to ever lose money in the Star Wars universe came out. And not only did it lose money, it lost $200 million at the box office. So if Star Wars can lose money because people don't show up, guess what? The MCU can fall into the same fate. There is no difference between the two. Oh, wait, that's right. But they're all under the Disney umbrella. So it's actually closer than you think. It's actually much more likely to happen than you think. Soulzad says, we have to protect EVS. He's our Braveheart. I mean, EVS can take care of himself. Let's just be honest here. EVS can easily take care of himself and just go after everything and just call these these knuckleheads out. No question about it. Let's see. Random Nerd Doom says, hey, Odin, hope everything is fine. I can't contact you through Discord anymore. My Discord got hacked yesterday. I am scared of using it now. Oh, boy. How did it get hacked? Zoro says, nice, Odin. Yo, are at 9.6 now. Hope we get as big as Geeks and Gamers. That would be awesome. Zoro, thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's insane to me. We're at 9,000, over 9,600 now, and the possibility of 10,000 in the next, couple weeks is very possible, and that's insane to me. Like, the fact that we might hit 10,000 before March, which would just be really cool to happen, which would be really cool to see, is just insane to me. And seriously, thank you guys so much for joining, and thank you so much for being a part of this community. And speaking of that, we had a new subscriber sub about 2 minutes ago, so XX Powers Within XX, welcome to the channel. Per Comic says, imagine if we got a Thanos origin movie between the Avengers film instead of Captain Marvel. That would have been way better. I agree. There are so many movies and so many characters that they could have done with. In fact, I don't think it was wise for them to do any film a month out from their big one. I think that was a stupid idea, which almost makes me think that they were trying to make an excuse for why the film might not do very well. I don't know. It's really hard to really pinpoint why they're doing this. Like, oh, well, we need to set up the character for Endgame. No, actually, to be honest, I think that it would have been better if her character had been handled by the Russo brothers first and introduced first in Endgame. And then after the first film you have after in the summer, in the June, Julys, then you can have Captain Marvel come out. That probably would have been the better mindset. Also, too, to not have her be played by a complete sexist and racist on top of everything else. That would have been nice. And also, too, to have put it in the hands of some writers and directors whose claim to fame is not just some random indie film. That would have been nice, too. Oh, but no, we can't do that. Let's see. Rogue Baron says, I want to start a petition that at 10K, you leave the live stream running 48 hours. You don't have to be there so we can get those 50 hours. Yeah, definitely not going to do that. But as I said before, once we hit 10K, I'm going to plan for a weekend. So whatever the next weekend is when we hit 10K, either that Saturday or Sunday, I'm going to do a 4 or 5 hour live stream. That's my plan. I'm going to try and get people on. I'm going to try and get, guests on, maybe try and get some of the, the bigger, the higher tier patrons on, all that kind of stuff. Just go crazy with it, as my dogs are now excited because Freya is home. They've missed you. They were crying at the door for you. I know. Mom, stay with us, please.
Mom is home. Mom.
They're so excited. But anyway, where was I? But anyway, I'm going to do a 5 hour live stream that day, and it's going to be crazy. It's going to be awesome. But speaking of patrons, let me give a huge shout out to A Grey Jedi, Adam Shawhan, Dave Bob, Delete System 32, Edward Coleman, Enrique Evangelista, Frank the Tank and the Shawhan Wiener Dog Clan, Greta Zenner, Harold Francis, The Hunka Chunky, Funky Monkey, Inflamed Wood, It's a Trap Productions, Jason Clark, Jeffrey Toon, Laura Story, Jonathan, Matthew Kadish, Mr. Peabody and his evil twin, Outpost Dyer, Perpetual Punster, Projar Sharif, Proper Jeremy, The DJD Show, Those Two Ball Guys, Tina B, and Wolfgang Lounge, thank you so much for being patrons. You are all amazing and beautiful people. Also, Perpetual Punster. Speaking of Perpetual Punster, thank you, man. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Speaking of him, he says, Hail Odin. You keep on being critical and cynical. We'll keep on smashing that like button. Your videos always have excellent critical thinking behind them. Well, thank you very much, man. I really do appreciate that. And thank you for being a patron as well. And seriously, thanks for the donation, man. Yeah, especially on today's video, guys. I'm gonna need a little bit of help because the SJW feminazis are out there being like, no, we can't let this video succeed. We can't let the algorithm pick it up or else people will watch it and possibly will learn something. That's what I think that they all think. Like, I want to say that's their, maybe not how they actually speak, though I think sometimes it is. It's definitely their internal monologue. No. Ben Richards, welcome to the channel, good sir. Let's see. Will Gentry says, I guess it's because the movie is only here because of the hashtag Carolcore, so they are desperate for it to succeed. Also, Gal Gadot is from Israel and Los Angeles. No, I think you're absolutely right about that, Will. I think you're absolutely right. I think that because Gal Gadot is Israeli was a big reason why she did not get support. Just go ahead and look to the Women's March. The Women's March did not want to be associated with any pro-Israel groups. Most of the leadership in the Women's March were anti-Semites. So it makes very much sense to me that SJWism is also very much akin to anti-Semitism and a hatred for Israel. That doesn't surprise me at all. And it also makes perfect sense as to why they didn't jump all over Gal Gadot. But also, too, because every single time that they tried to kind of like set her up saying, oh, don't you want to talk about this? Won't you talk about this? She was like, no. I'm not going to fall into your game. And that's why I personally love her and think she's great. Larry Custon, welcome to the channel. And Tony Campbell, welcome to the channel. Dead Red Herring, what's going on, dude? He says, did you see the interview with Gal Gadot and the dude that played Flash in Justice League? He wanted her to say something about crushing the patriarchy. Gal looked really uncomfortable. That does not surprise me at all. Because Gal Gadot seems like a very upstanding woman who's like, I don't want to tick off anybody. I'm just going to keep on being me. I'm going to live by who I am, and I'm not going to try and get political. And again, I think that's great. I think that's great. Oh, look at this. The Valkyries are finally here. Early start. It had 6:15 on there. It had 6:15 Valkyries. You should have been paying. I'm kidding. Love you all. Team's like, oh, crap, you're on. Yeah, I've been on for like 20 minutes now. Over 20 minutes. For over 20 minutes... we have not had Valkyrie. It's insane. Ariok Dragon says it's 173 likes to 100 dislikes now. Guys, I have 100 dislikes on a video that I posted an hour ago. Please go support the video. Drop a like. If you don't want to watch the whole thing, I'm fine with that. It is long. I know that I go on rants, and I sometimes don't know when to shut the hell up. But just to shove it in the SJW feminazis face, go ahead and drop a like on that. Marvel Man TV, what's going on, dude? Says, does Brie Larson have issues with her dad, or she's just stuck up with a Hollywood family? Maybe she is pissed right now because she broke up with her boyfriend. Yeah, honestly, I don't know, and I'm not gonna delve into her personal life. Like, it's just not really my. I'm not gonna go there because that's something that they would do. That's not something that I would do. At the end of the day, I think that it definitely comes from her being entitled. I think that she is absolutely an entitled personality, and that not only comes from being an actress in Hollywood, but also comes from the fact that she probably went to a very liberal college, probably got taught by liberal professors, probably got told so many lies, so many falsehoods that she just bought into and has brought them over into a regular everyday life, and it's really sad. Edward Coleman, thank you very much for the $5 donation. Odin, on a serious note, what is the path to victory? How do we fight these huge media complexes? I know you and other channels are fighting the good fight, but I feel without substantial financial backing is an uphill fight that we might never win. It's to keep fighting, man. It's to keep supporting this new media, because that's really what's going to happen. You see it. Look at all of the ratings. Look how the ratings are like crashing for all of the mainstream media sources. They're doing terrible. Huffington Post very well could close up its doors. A lot of these hyper liberal, hyper woke channels, hyper woke online presence even are not doing well. They are just really falling apart at the seams, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that people can now get information and get sources and get news and get facts and get various other things from YouTube and from other sources like it. People like Timcast, I think, is a really good example of that. He's a very center guy, which is why I love him, and he really does call out identity politics, and he shows very clearly why all of this is just falling apart at the seams. It's because these people are becoming so woke, their heads are getting shoved so far up their own asses that they honestly don't even see that there's a problem. They don't see that, oh, wait a minute, everything is crumbling around us. And so I think that the way that we win, the way that we show the victory is that we keep on putting out videos. We keep on tweeting. We keep on like building this community. We keep on building this collaborating with each other and helping out each other and just building this community of people, of common sense people. And that's the way that you win, because over time, as these media companies start to fall and fail, we'll be right there. Because as their numbers shrink, our numbers grow. And I think that's how we win. You know, it's not going to be an ultimate victory, but I think that slowly over time, we chip away. We chip away slowly over time, and eventually the victory will indeed be ours. Sol Deus, welcome to the channel. Thank you very much for subscribing. Super says, also question for you. I met Brie Larson's requirements for, I meet Brie Larson's requirements for who is worthy at being at her press tour. Who do you think I can contact so I can rip it movie to shreds and surprise her? Yeah, that's interesting. See, the thing is that she says that, oh, I want to go to the people who are small, and I want to go to the people who are, you know, minority voices. And yet, just because you fit the criteria doesn't mean that you get to interview her. You need to also be woke. See, they don't tell you that part. They love diversity. They love inclusion. The only difference is that as soon as you bring in any sense of diversity of thought, oh, no, we can't. Oh, you're one of those people. Oh, you believe that. Oh, you voted for Donald Trump in 2016. Oh, no, we can't affiliate with you. Yeah, but I'm a minority and I have a very low voice. I don't have a lot of reach. Oh, no, but you're not on the same wavelength here, and so yeah, you just go right back and you just fail. They don't care about all that. Again, all they care about is the woke message. That's all they care about. Nemesis says, if you ain't first, you last. Damn right about that, son. Appreciate that reference. Patrick Duff says, sorry, I'm late. I did not get notifications. Patrick Duff, no problem at all. It's no problem at all. I mean, seriously, YouTube is constantly taking notifications off, not letting notifications work. It happens. I'm happy that anyone's here. The fact that anyone's here right now is more than enough for me, man. Let's see. The Shadow says, dive. Yes, the Gordon's alive. Great movie. Great movie. F your feelings, says Royal. I agree. Entertainment Hacker says, hey, Odin, got a dislike? Maybe someone actually wants the Rose Tico figure back. No, it's definitely a feminazi who's just like, nah, I just saw his video. Oh, he's live? I'm not going to listen to anything he says, but I'm going to drop a dislike because I have power. Neff Champion says, facts don't care about your feelings. Damn right, son. Will Gentry says, you say facts don't care about their feelings, but just ask AOC and she'll tell you their feelings don't care about our facts. Yeah, seriously. And they can keep on trying to push that. And then when they no longer have facts at any point and they are nothing but feelings, they will fall apart very, very quickly. There was a really great play written called A Man for All Seasons. It's about Thomas More. And one of the great back and forths that happens in that movie is that Thomas More is speaking to someone who is engaged to his daughter, or is like in love with his daughter. And basically he's like a firebrand. He's like, oh man, no, he's a terrible person. We need to go after him. And he says, yeah, but the law doesn't respect that. Oh, tear down the law. And then basically he says, oh, so, let's just say, oh, the devil. Would you say that you would tear down every single law to get the devil? And he would say, absolutely. And then he says, okay, what happens when the devil turns around and you don't have the laws to support you anymore? What do you do then? And I think it's the same thing here too, where if they keep on tearing down any sense of fact, if they start tearing down any sense of common sense, of any sense of just basic understanding, eventually they're just going to be left. And as soon as anyone turns on them, they're going to crumble and fall. And then eventually, hopefully, as I pray for society one day, people will look at those guys and look at them and say, oh, you're crazy. Yeah, I'm just going to let you stay in your crazy, woeful existence, I really hope that we get to that point eventually. Reed Palancia, thank you very much for the Aussie $50 super chat. Really do appreciate it. Anything on Endgame? Brie Larson and therefore Captain Marvel have been hogging discussion with their antics. Maybe they have been hyping it up more because the interest was not high enough with Endgame coming up. Nice videos over the last few hours. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that, Reed. And so basically the last thing we know about Endgame is that they did release a synopsis. The first synopsis that they released had no mention of Captain Marvel. The second one that they released, the one that they released in America, of course, had like a couple of references to Captain Marvel. But basically it was a subtle reference until you got to a site where basically they took the synopsis and then kind of added more stuff to it to be like, no, but Captain Marvel's new and Captain Marvel's great. So basically what we know about it, based on what the Russo brothers have told us, is that it's a great movie, which of course they kind of have to say. But what I liked about what the Russo brothers did in their recent interview, and I recommend looking it up because it's really insightful, is the fact that they have made it clear that at no point is it going to be Captain Marvel beats Thanos. Because even by their own admission, they're like, that would be boring. We know that the fans wouldn't want to see that. So what we had to do was take a character who's being played up as like this OP character, and we had to find a way to make her fit in with everyone else. So it sounds like the Russo brothers have very good heads on their shoulders, and I think that Endgame, even with Captain Marvel, is still going to be a very good film as long as it's, again, the Russo brothers project. Now, Captain Marvel, on the other hand, that seems to be in the hands of someone very different with a very different mindset, and of course, Brie Larson is making it very clear about how she feels. However, I think that the Russo brothers are going to do a lot of great things with Endgame. But anyway, thank you for the super chat, and that's pretty much all that we really know about it, is that it's them trying to deal with everything. It's them trying to figure out where to go from here with everything that happened with Infinity War. Now that everything has, all the crap has hit the fan, as one could say, what do we do now? And so basically what we knew the film was going to be about, and not giving too much detail away either, makes me happy. 70B, thank you for the $2 donation. The Valkyries were not notified. We are tardy and still awesome. You are indeed awesome. I will agree with you there, but you were also tardy. Two things can be true at once. Let's see. James75 says, Yellow Flash 2 and That Umbrella Guy 2 YouTubers made great videos campaigning the stand with Vic. It's crazy how these people want to defame this anime voice actor on allegations. Oh, I don't even know what's going on with that, because I don't really follow anime that much. Anyway, let me see. Whoa, the chat jumped on me. All right, cool. Early start, says Steph. Psh. Gannison, what's going on, Gannison? How's it going? James Clark, hail Odin, hail to you, good sir. Kettleballs and Culture, what is going on, bruv? I feel like you change your name like every 5 seconds, but I love it because you're the same profile picture, so I can always tell who you are. Let's see. Super says, EVS survived the comic book industry. Of course, I don't want to see people come after him, but he will definitely be fine. Yeah, I think that he'll definitely be fine. The fact that he was able to get like so much support for his own comic tells you all you need to know about how well he'll be off. Oh, we must take EVS down. Good luck with that. Seriously, good luck with taking EVS down. I dare you to do it. Entertainment Hacker says, I was actually sub 833 here, which I think was just a few weeks before Odin got on Geeks and Gamers. That's awesome, man. That's really cool. Yeah, I mean, it's been an incredible journey. I never thought that I would hit 10,000 in a year. Like, that's insane. That's absolutely insane, and I don't even know what it is now with all these awesome people that are subscribing to the channel. Like, seriously, it's tremendous. It's absolutely amazing. Hi everyone, what's going on, bruv? How's it going? The Look, what's going on, bruv? Tina is talking about early content. Nico Blue says, have you watched the series Legion? Would love to see a movie of it. I've never seen Legion. I've actually heard some pretty good things about it though. Nemesis08 says, I propose that when Odin hits 10K, he shaves his face and head bald. Now, shaving my head bald, that's something that I would actually, not gonna lie, I would actually be open to. I kind of want to try it out and test it out for a bit. Beard is not going anywhere. It might get trimmed at some point, but the beard's not going anywhere. It's kind of a part of who I am. Can't really shave it off. Zora says, and remember, Odin, if you have common sense people with a flock to you like the Geeks and Gamers, we need more people like you so we can finally wash out all SJWs. Well, thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. And that's the reason why I started. It was because I saw what Jeremy was doing, was like, oh, people like common sense? Wait, people actually have original thoughts and don't just believe and buy into all the just stupid nonsense that happens? Oh, wait, this is great. I have thoughts. And so I was like, oh, let me talk about this video. And then slowly over time, I started doing live streams and started just speaking my mind on these things. And here we are, almost 10,000 subs later. It's incredible. It really is. Modern Dude Thing says, did you hear that Christopher Nolan doesn't like the way he portrayed Batman? I did not hear that. That's interesting. Frank says, arf arf, don't worry, Odin. We, the angry wiener dog clan of Doomcock, will attack the SJW scun. We have your back. Well, thank you, Frank. I appreciate that. And yeah, go ahead and take care of those SJW feminazis for me, please. Yeah, Gal Gadot is not stupid. She is a very, very, very bright lady. Super says that interview between Gadot and Ezra Miller was from IGN. It was 3 minutes long, but took me 10 minutes to get through. Indefinite cringe. Yeah, I mean, I have actually never seen that interview, so I kind of want to see it now, because my guess is that Ezra Miller, who is definitely an SJW, was probably trying to like go off on his little soapbox, and then Gal Gadot was just like, well, yeah, I don't want to do what you're doing because this is stupid, and I actually want my movie to make money. I don't know about you. Like, so that's why Gal Gadot's awesome. Eric Coleman, thank you for the $5 donation. Just a thank you. Appreciate what you do. Keep up the good fight. We'll support you no matter what they say or what they do. Well, thank you, Eric Coleman. Appreciate that. Also, Eric Coleman, respond to the email that I sent you, because it has something to do with something that happened a couple weeks ago, too. There's a couple things in there. So we usually start at 6:30, yes, but I did put the start time at 6:15, Steph. just because you weren't paying attention. Tina says, I got no notification and no time update. Stephanie J said YouTube is screwing around with stuff. That too, but I did indeed put it at 6:15 as a start because of the fact that we've been kind of bumping up to 8 o'clock, and I don't want to roll over into the time that people are going to be going over to the High Council. So I started 15 minutes early, so that way we'll be able to end right on time. Entertainment Hacker says, I'm at work, so I got to go. Well, have a good one, man. Thank you very much. Really do appreciate it. Direct link to Odin's video. Thank you very much, Frank. Appreciate it. Hireman says, once you reach this, it is 7:36, but take your time, brother. Just wanted to ask, did you see the Tolkien trailer? No, I saw it drop, though. I got a notification from IMDb that a trailer had dropped, so I didn't even know that it was happening. So I cannot wait to watch it because I love me some Tolkien. Seriously. You said 7:36 is now, so I'm imagining you mean 6:36 my time. It's now 6:47, so yeah, I'm behind, one could say. iBridge says, bigger biatch, Kathleen Kennedy or Brie Larson? Brie Larson. Brie Larson, easily. James Hancock says, what is the name of the vid to like? It's the one that I just posted today. It was that Captain Marvel, or Brie Larson's Captain Marvel, could lead to the destruction of something. Let me see if I can find it. Brie Larson's Captain Marvel will ruin the future of female heroes. Because I really do think that if she gets her way and if everyone supporting her movie gets their way, that it could eventually lead to people saying, oh, wait, it's going to be that kind of a movie? No, thank you. And it's not going to be people saying, oh, I don't want to see women superheroes. It'll be like, oh, I don't want to be preached to. And that's what she's doing. She's really like spoiling the well for a lot of future up-and-coming actresses, I would say. Super says, personal opinion, modern lefties don't like Gal Gadot because she's Israeli. No, I think you're right. And apparently all Israelis are at fault for the stupidity of the UN, and feminists don't like her because they're jealous. No, I agree with you. It's because she doesn't play the identity politics game, and also she's Israeli. I think that those are the two main reasons why she was not, one, not supported as much as Captain Marvel is, and two, why she was in many ways actually attacked by a lot of people in the media. Will Gentry says, all those online media sites will be bought out for pennies on the dollar by one big company, and they'll get restructured and relaunched as smaller companies. It happened before and will happen again. I agree. I absolutely agree. Modern Dude says, Odin, is your name really Odin? Just curious. No, it's a nickname from like high school. So it's become a part of who I am. Tina says, Odin is his YouTube name. We don't discuss real names. Yeah, we try and keep that out of it just for privacy reasons. It's not like it would be difficult to find it. It's not like it would be impossible to find online. On live streams, I don't. JRM0220, welcome to the channel. Appreciate it. Rogue Baron says, love that movie to death. Just the shots alone are fantastic. I feel cold over time. They go outside in the wind. Everything about the movie is perfect. Oh, man, what? Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Will Gentry says, no details about Endgame. I didn't spoil anything. If you saw Infinity War, then you know as much as anything else at this point. So don't worry. Nothing's been spoiled. Lily Patton, what's going on, Lily? Welcome back. Marvel Man TV says, when do you think we'll get an Avengers Endgame trailer 2? I think we are going to get one like teaser showing not too much. I honestly think that we're not going to get another new Endgame trailer until after Captain Marvel, because I really do believe that the next major trailer for Endgame is going to feature Captain Marvel. Because remember, the first Endgame trailer, the really big one, no mention of Captain Marvel. The second one that came out, no mention of Captain Marvel. So the next time we get a trailer is probably going to feature Captain Marvel, and that can't happen until the character is introduced, and so therefore Captain Marvel needs to come out, unfortunately. So we'll see what happens. James Hancock says, did you like the other Bolin girl? I actually did. Not gonna lie. I'm a history guy myself, and so overall, I actually did not hate it. Well, Johnny says, I might just turn off my internet for the next 9 weeks so I don't hear anything about Endgame. Already left the MCU group on Facebook because I don't want any spoilers. Yeah, I mean, nothing's been spoiled yet. Everything that you see in the synopsis is non-spoiler. It's basically, all of these people need to work together now to find out a way to address the issue. I mean, it's like the most generic description that you could possibly give. Well, obviously, these guys need to work together because half the universe has been wiped out. And so now what the hell do you do from there? You need to obviously get together with a bunch of people and try and figure it out. So, and Dion, I'm taking many, many sips. Leon Bowman, what's going on, Leon? G Monkey says, I might see Captain Marvel on streaming, but only after I get Odin and other trusted YouTubers reviews. Yeah, don't worry, guys. I'm going to go see it in theaters because I have to, I guess. Planning on, buying a ticket to something else and then just walking to the theater. I would never do that. I don't know what you're talking about. I would never do what that, no, that's not me. I wouldn't do that officially. But anyway, so I will let you know, I will let all you guys know exactly if it's good or if it's bad. Because again, if the movie comes out and says, is good, if the movie comes out and it's not what or even close to the Brie Larson, spin that she's putting on all of this, then I'll say, hey guys, the movie's great. Doesn't change the fact that, Brie Larson might suck, but, I'll let you know if the movie's good. If the movie's good, I'll say so. And somebody will say, oh, we already biased against it. I've gone in with some negative views before going into a movie, and I've come out loving it. Like, I really do. For example, I'll give you a great example. When you ask me about the movie Black Klansman, most people would say, oh, you probably hated it. I actually loved it until the last 5 minutes, because the movie itself is very well done, very well made, really funny, great writing, great acting all around. But then the last 5 minutes cuts in footage from 2016 to 2018. And it tries to basically show you that the entire movie was to try and perpetuate this, oh, it's just as bad now as it was in the 1960s. It's like, okay, well, I'm not going to be on board with that because that's obviously not true. So that's the reason why I ended up hating that movie. But the rest of the movie was actually really good. So as you can see, I can be fair. Absolutely. Mr. BY says, Odin, the problem is you have kangaroos in your chat. That's why it keeps jumping. I think you're right, man. I think you're absolutely right about that. Dead Red Herring says, if anyone Marvel character should be the one to be the Deus Ex Machina, defeat Thanos and save the day, it should be Adam Warlock. That's what I keep hearing. I kind of want to do more research on Adam Warlock, because I remember that it was the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 2 that they teased Adam Warlock. So I think that I would definitely want to find out a little bit more about his character, because that's what I've heard. I heard that he is the one that, like, traditionally in the original, or in one of the original story arcs where they are trying to defeat Thanos, was the one to be able to do it. But it doesn't surprise me that they decided to go with a creation from 2012 by a feminazi. Like, it really doesn't surprise me that's the direction they decided to go. Zenwater says, while I'm eager for you to succeed, I'm not keen on losing the personal chats we all have. No. Again, I'm right there with you, but at the same time, like, even like these chats right here, I feel like even with over 100 people watching at this point, I'm still able to do everything that I was able to do beforehand. I would say even with more people than that. Like, would I have to change up the system? Probably. But my goal is to never become a super chat only channel. That is like my one striving goal, is I never want to do that. And I'm not attacking anyone that only reads super chats. Sometimes it's one of the only things that you can do, especially on the High Council. It makes a lot of sense, because you not only are having a crap ton of people talking, but you're also interacting with each other. So it's almost impossible to do that same kind of format when you have, the group conversation going, and on top of that, over 1,000 people watching. But even me, if I've had like 300, 400, 500 people watching, I would still do the very best that I can to read questions and to read comments. Like that's what I would love to try to do the very best that I can. Let's see what we got here. Hybrid says, I wonder what you look like without a beard. It's not hard to find. As I said before, they're out there. Leon Bowman says, I'm also laughing at your vids. Well, I hope that's a positive thing. I hope that I'm bringing joy to your life, Leon. James Hancock says, let your students shave it. No, definitely not. Definitely not. Peabody says, if you shave your head and don't like it, you can use your beard as a comb over. Now that would be an interesting sight. Jenkins says, one of EVS's characters, Jessica Cruz, has been turned into an environmentally conscious female who is a vegan or vegetarian. This is what her character is in the new DC superhero girl show. Weird. Well, I think, honestly, I'm not surprised by that. In fact, I bet that was done on purpose. Was like, oh, this was created by EVS? Let's make it totally woke to make him mad. Ruth, what's going on, Ruth? How's it going? Good to see you here. Steph says, you gotta talk to Odin. He chose us. Yeah, they're awesome. I don't know. Yeah, you gotta put the Odin there. Fanboy, what's going on? Fanboy says, my speculation is that all of this set up in order to get the franchise to begin with by the libs, like from when George created Star Wars after A New Hope. That's what I'm wondering. All right, that didn't make any sense to me. So, you might want to repost it, and just context is key. I need to be able to understand it if I'm supposed to respond to it. I think there was a question in there somewhere. Modern Dude Thing says, why can't more people in the mainstream media have basic common sense? Because they were brainwashed in college, and until they eventually, hopefully, wake up, they are going to continue to perpetuate the same nonsense that they were lied about. Lilypad says, hey, Odin, how can I become a Valkyrie? It's very hard to become a Valkyrie, because there's actually only two. Tina and Steph, and there's only been two Valkyrie for a very long time now. So the chances of anyone ever becoming a Valkyrie are not likely. The chances of people becoming mods, that's something that can happen over time. But basically, the way that I came about making Frank a mod the way I made about making the Valkyries mods and Greta a mod is because they're in the streams all the time. They watch or are part of almost every single stream. Greta specifically because she does movie trivia every time that we do movie nights, and so I wanted to make sure that her name was very much highlighted for everyone to see, so that way they would be able to see and I would be able to see all the trivia that she would put in there. And so that's the reason why I made her a mod. Frank and the Valkyrie, they are in the chat every single time, and that's the reason why they have wrenches, and that's why they are mods. But there are only 2 Valkyrie, and that's Steph and Tina, and that's because they are 2 of the most amazing people I've ever met in my life. And I just don't know if I could ever find a third that quite matches their amazingness. So, yeah, it would be very hard for me to find a replacement, let alone another Valkyrie. Leon Bowman says, "You're very funny. You make my day." Well, Leon, I'm happy to hear that, man. Very happy to hear that. If I can bring even just a little bit of joy, it'll make me happy. Rogue Baron says, "A man for all seasons. Gosh, why are you so far behind?" I know, right? It's insane. Heathen Breathing Fire says, "Are you excited for New Mutants?" I haven't really seen enough about it to know anything about it. As I said before, I'm not a comics guy. So pretty much all of my knowledge comes from the movies themselves. And so I don't really know much about it to be able to have an opinion. Nico Blue says, "Not going to watch Captain Marvel movie. The parody trailer was enough for me." Oh my God. Nico Blue, guys, Nico Blue on Twitter sent me the best parody trailer ever. It's called Weird Trailers or something. Look up Weird Trailers Captain Marvel. It will make you laugh your ass off. It is so damn funny. It's got it cuts in like South Park. It cuts in dancing Tobey Maguire from Spider-Man. Oh, it's so good. It is amazing. Go check it out, guys. Seriously. Super says, "What's going to happen with Captain Marvel is what happens with everything. SJWs pump it on Twitter, force changes, then they will wait till they can rent it on Redbox to see it. So obnoxious." Yeah, it's so funny is that all the people that are like promoting it and going gaga over it are the same people that probably won't go see it in theaters. And if they do go see it, they'll see it one time, and then they'll be like, "Oh, it was so amazing and so woke. Everyone will go see it, right?" Well, no, because most people, the vast majority of people, thank God, are not SJW feminazis. So that's a good thing. 8-Bit Snake Boy says, "I still can't believe the mainstream media isn't calling out Brie Larson regarding her narcissistic fundraising. It's far more about empowering herself than in disadvantaged young girls." I agree with you, 8-Bit. It really is. Like, if anyone from a different ideology was doing something similar, they would call them out saying like, "Oh, look at you trying to raise money for your own movie and you're not even putting your own money where your mouth is." Like, seriously, she could fund every single one of these programs, and yet she's choosing not to. I wonder why. That's right, because she doesn't really care, because she's a fake. Frank says, "Odin's real name is the awesome almighty father Odin." Well, thank you very much, Frank. Appreciate it. PB, what's going on, PB? "How do you ride into a live stream without any Valkyries? Seems rather dangerous." Sometimes I like to live dangerously. Hybrid says, "If there isn't going to be a you shall not pass Easter egg for Tolkien, I will be disappointed." Just kidding. I agree with you. I would expect it in there. Steph says, "We do not have bail money if you get caught skipping in and out of movies." Well, luckily that is not a jailable offense. So that's not like people saying like that's illegal. It's not that it's illegal. It's just not smiled upon. It's frowned down upon. So basically the worst that could happen to me is that they say, "Hey, you're in the wrong movie. Leave." But that's not going to happen because do remember I used to work at a movie theater, and I tend to go to that movie theater, and I know the people that own the place still, and we're still on good terms with each other. And also, usually when I do that, I buy popcorn and I buy like concessions because most of the money goes directly to them. They make barely anything on tickets. So at the end of the day, once you're in, like unless you're causing a ruckus and stealing seats, they don't really care as much. But if you give them money, like for me, it's like I make it up by giving them money, by making sure that they're taken care of. So that's how I justify it myself. But JRM0220, who had just subscribed to the channel, says, "Thank God for you and other common sense channels." Well, thank you, man. Thank you for the super chat, man. And thank you for subscribing. I really do appreciate it. You're awesome. Heathen Breathing Fire says, "My biggest hope with Captain Wambulance is that they go into Rogue eating her powers and putting her in a coma since X-Men are in the MCU now." Yeah, if only they could do that. But you know they're not. You know that she's just going to be OP and it's going to be so disgusting. The Shadow says, "Did you see the Ivan Ortega's Captain Marvel trailer edit?" I did. I really liked it a lot. Ivan Ortega, guys, go check out his channel. He is awesome, and he has a very, very good feminist-free trailer for Captain Marvel. That's awesome. Harvey says, I honestly went into Infinity War and even Aquaman thinking I would be disappointed, but personally ended up being satisfied with both of them. No, seriously, if you go in with low expectations, your overall experience can only really go up from there. Unless it's really bad, and then obviously you can have, very disappointment. But overall, I'd rather go in with low expectations and be surprised than with high expectations and be incredibly disappointed. So that is how I choose to live my life. Don't tell me how to live. Marvel Man TV says, if you were to make a Marvel movie, what would it be and why? So I guess, therefore, it'd have to be a Marvel character. If I had to make a Marvel movie, I'm trying to think of the characters. Because I feel like a lot of characters have already had movies. You know what, to be honest? At this point in time, and this is just based off the movies themselves, I would love to see them make a Ronin movie, because just the few seconds of Ronin that we get in the Endgame trailer, I'm just like, oh my God, yes. Because I think Jeremy Renner plays that part so well, and I think that Hawkeye is just such an underutilized character. And so at this point in time, based on the characters that I've seen in the MCU, because as I said before, I'm not a comics guy, I would like to see this Ronin character, or this Hawkeye solo film. I think that would be cool. And again, you can make it for a lower budget. And yeah, it's not going to make like the, $1 billion, but it could do well enough if you get a good cast, if you get a good writer and director. I mean, you could make a solid film out of that, let alone a solid TV series, as well. Shenglong, thank you very much for the $20 super chat. Don't think you'll have to worry about finding an open seat for Captain Marvel on opening weekend. Yeah, I don't think so either. So my plan is actually probably to go Thursday, because I also really want to see how many people show up, and also what kind of people show up. So that's something that I'm gonna bring my vlog camera for sure. And if there's something worth filming, I'm gonna film it. And if I do, I'll obviously bring it to your attention. Like, I'll obviously cut it into my actual review of the movie itself, because that just sounds amazing. Ariok says, you post the link to Owen's vid again. The dislikes are blowing up. Yeah, the dislikes are insane. Let me see. Let me refresh the page right now. So at this point in time, this video, oh my God, they are hating it. This is great. This is so great. In fact, the Look just put 126 dislikes. Is this the Disney Channel? So at this point, the video that I posted today, which again says Brie Larson's Captain Marvel will ruin the future of female heroes, is at 227 likes and 140 dislikes. Oh my God, the feminazis are out in full force. Help me. Help me. Leon Bowman says, I like your videos. Well, thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. Patrick Duff says, Odin, at the time I wrote this comment, your dog was looking at the camera. All right, well, she's not looking at the camera anymore. So, Alex Martinez. All right, chat jumped on me again. Alex Martinez. Alex. Where's that comment? Where is that pesty comment? It says, hey, Odin, how is it going? Also, hello, everyone. How are you guys? Doing fine. How are you? Yes, and Scarecrow, I saw that comment right above the dive. Such a great movie. Super says, message in the chat just made me think of it. Not a huge Marvel fan, but since Rogue can absorb others' powers, doesn't that technically make her the strongest character? Ooh, I think it makes her potentially the strongest character. She has the potentiality for it. Will Gentry says, I have a feeling if the James Gunn thing didn't happen, we'd potentially have Guardians 3 and Adam Warlock by now, so it'd be an Adam Warlock being introduced, powerhouse in Endgame, not Carl Manvers. I don't think that's the case, Will. I think that they have been, because keep this in mind, the reason why they chose Captain Marvel is because there's this feminazi group called the Carol Corps that basically shoved it down everyone's throats until eventually the MCU was like, okay, fine, we'll make the movie. We'll do it. So I don't think that enough time has passed since Guardians 2 for them to have been able to come out with the Guardians 3 at this point. So I don't think that had any impact on it whatsoever, to be honest. James Hancock says, will there be even more Deus in 9 than 7 and 8? You mean Deus Ex Machina? I think, honestly, 9 is going to do, this is talking about Star Wars Episode 9, I think they're going to do everything they can to try and make it the most palatable film ever, because they want to make money. And they know they're in dire straits. So I don't think they're going to be playing around with as many things as Rian Johnson did. I don't see that happening. Solstice says, instead of shaving your hair, go for the Mr. T look. A pretty fool. Gannison says, need to go. Bye. Have a good one. Thank you for stopping by. Hypern says, here's one that was surprising. I really wanted to like Glass and didn't want to trust the critics, but ended up not liking it personally. So it's amazing how we end up with a different view. Yeah, I mean, I still want to see it because I want to make my own opinion. Like, to me, that's a divisive film, but I love those kind of movies because it's a movie that, depending on, like, when you see it and your mood and what kind of movies you like determines how you feel about it, which is what movies should be. Like, in all honesty, that's what movies should be. And so that's why I'm actually really excited to still see it. So definitely still on my list, though. Rogue says, here every time Odin's movie blog wrench. Alex Martinez says, also, Odin, yeah, I'm actually a senior in college right now, and I'm so happy I'm a business major, not liberal arts. Not a jab at the liberal arts themselves, just an observation. No, I agree. I got a liberal arts degree. I went to not only a liberal arts college, but also a very liberal college on top of that. And I've shared this before. I'm a theology teacher, and so I had a minor in theology, and one of the classes that I had to take was a plurality or a multiculturalism class. Like, I had to take these classes. And so I decided to do like 2 birds with 1 stone, take a theology class that also counted for my pluralistic class or multicultural class or whatever the hell it was. And so I ended up taking a religion and feminism class. And the class itself was not the worst thing in the world because the teacher taught it very much from a historical perspective, meaning this is first wave feminism, this is second wave feminism, this is third wave feminism. And so I was able to learn about the differences between them. And I was able to learn what an actual feminist is supposed to be versus what the nonsense that we have now with the feminazis. And so that was actually really interesting. But the people in the class, the women in the class, oh my God, every single day there was some random comment about, well, you know, the patriarchy is just so overwhelming at times, and it was cringeworthy. The students were cringeworthy. The professor actually was not bad. She was very much not a I'm going to push an agenda. She was like, here are the facts. Here's the history of it. And overall, I liked it. And also, I was able to learn a lot about Judaism as well. It was really cool. CWD Trixie says, Odin trivia, Odin always has had a beard. Not true, technically. Greta says, I'm only a mod because of trivia. You're a mod because you're awesome and you're always around, Greta. But I will be honest. Again, the main push to give you the mod status was because I wanted it to be easier for you to be able to post links and to post trivia and stuff like that. But it's also because you're awesome. 2 things can be true at once, Greta. You can be awesome and deserve it, and also be given it to do trivia. Both things are true. Don't take it hard. It's a compliment. Trust me. Rogue Baron says, if you're reading this, then the High Council has started. Wait, what? Wait, seriously? It's 7:09. There's no way it started. Did they start early? Hold on. Did they seriously start? Are you lying to me? They haven't started yet. Don't lie to me. How dare you? How dare you? I would say, if the High Council had started, we would not still be over 100 people. So, Alex Martinez says, also seconded, I also love your content and videos. Seriously, I always look forward to your videos and live streams. Well, Alex Martinez, thank you very much, man. I really do appreciate that. Heathen Breathing Fire says, Cannonball, and so on. Darth Hammer, what's going on? He says, God bless you, good sir. Many other larger channels wouldn't read a non-super chat comment out loud if their lives depended on it. Well, again, and I'm going to do everything that I possibly can to continue to have the same kind of streams. Like, it's not going to be for everybody. It's not everyone's cup of tea. Some people would rather just sit back and listen, and that's totally fine. But there's others that like to interact and engage and stuff like that, and that's just what I like to do as well. Mr. Peabody says, Odin, would I classify as a New Mutant? They can call me Upside Down Man. Yes, you would. Hyman says, you should also watch the stupid Thanos Aldo Jones weird video. He basically photoshops him on Shrek and does a parody. Oh my God. That sounds amazing. That sounds so damn good. I love it. I love it. Frank says, Odin, just tell them, oops, I entered the wrong one, my bad. Do you know the way, my friend? Tina says, she did. We did an interview with Odin, but it was a Patreon subscribers only. You get to hear our voices. Tina, and actually, thank you for mentioning that, guys. If you go to the Patreon page, so Tina, if y'all can post the Patreon page, that podcast is now public. So I asked my patrons, I asked the ones that get the exclusive first look at all of the podcasts, which is what it now is. Beforehand, they were the only ones that got the podcast. And I asked them, hey, what do you want me to do to change up the podcast? You know, would you be okay if I were to make it public after a week? And the vast majority of people said, hey, yeah, make it public after a week. And so now, whoa, hey. All right, that was River. But now what you see is that the Patreons, so the $5 and up patrons get the podcast. They get to decide episodes. They get also to decide YouTube episodes if they want. And they get that power, but also they get the podcast first, and they get exclusive access to it for the first week. And then after the week, so every Friday or Saturday, at that point, it then becomes public. And so if you just even follow me on Patreon, you can get your own private RSS link, copy and paste it into iTunes, copy and paste it into, I use Pocket Cast, and you can have access to it, and you'll always get a new episode whenever it goes live. So it is actually, so that interview I did with the Valkyrie is now live for everyone. Fanboy says, I mean, like a conspiracy man, like for some reason this has all happened to George Lucas up to this point. I mean, this is probably what they were working towards too. I don't know about that, Fanboy. I still don't quite understand. Dojaja says, hey, Odin, are you going to watch Alita? More likely than not, yes. I wasn't before because of the trailers, but now I'm hearing that SJWs are going after it, so that makes me really want to support it. So, Fanboy says, like, this cannot be a coincidence here. I don't know what you're talking about. Alex Martinez says, you're so right about having low expectations going into a movie. Unless it's truly bad, you can only go up from there. No, it's true. It really is. Like, if you go in with low expectations, you'll be surprised. In like 90% of the time, 99% of the time, you will be pleasantly surprised when you walk out of it. Will Gentry says, that's the way I do it, too. I try to go in either with zero expectations or actively make myself expect to be disappointed. It's hard to be disappointed when you come out that way. No, seriously, you're absolutely right. Hyper says, question. What movie that has already been filmed in reality would you like to imagine being animated, a la Pixar or Ghibli? I don't want anything, to be honest, because I'm tired of remakes. I don't even want to answer that question because I don't want anything to be remade. I would rather them make an original movie. Studio Ghibli, if they were to be able to come back, that would be amazing. Or even Pixar. I would rather see an original story with an original concept than anything be remade into an animated show. Or animated movie, for that matter. All right, chat jumped on me again. Conspiracy. Alex Martinez says, also, Odin, I so want a Hawkeye and Ronan solo movies. Ronan actually has been not only Hawkeye, but others in the comics. It's a character that has been under different mantles. Oh, very cool. Like Captain Marvel. They have so much in common. They should do a team-up movie. Good God. Could you imagine? Will Gentry says, Odin is going to stake out the movie theater for 48 hours to see who goes to the Carl Manverse. Definitely not, because I don't think I'll need to wait that long. Hireman says, the Russos made me love Thor, so I'm already hyped how they handle Hawkeye, Ronan. Personally, I've always liked Captain America since his first movie, but that's just me. Yeah, I mean, I did not like the first Avenger. I did not like the first Captain America movie. I loved everything that the Russos have done since then, and I would actually say the one that saved Thor to me was Taika Waititi. I love Thor Ragnarok, and also keep this in mind, you would not have gotten the Thor that you got in Infinity War without Taika Waititi rebooting the character. So, anyway, Samuel Labadee, welcome to the channel, good sir. Alex Martinez says, personally, my favorite character doesn't have his movie yet. Gambit needs his movie without all the development hell it's under. I love the X-Men. They are my favorite of all time. Okay, yeah, I could definitely agree with a solid Gambit film. That could be cool. CFD Trixie says, besides the potential dumpster fire of Captain Marvel, there is a possible move for Disney to make a Miss Marvel show or movie, and she has been created close to as bad as Captain Marvel. I hope not. That would be stupid. That would be a waste of the Carol Manvers character, because Miss Marvel for the longest time was Carol Manvers. So that would just be a waste of the character itself. And the character is already such a waste to begin with. Rogue Baron says, so glad I don't have to take those dog crap classes. Comp, sci, business, or something engineering are thankfully safer from these liberal whack jobs. That's great to hear, man. Frank says, the worst thing in the world is not getting to eat all the awesome human food. We only get the dog food, arf arf. Yeah, my dogs feel the same way, but they actually like theirs. As Martinez says, Odin, I know what you mean. I've had classes that talk about ethics, but also all this BS going on. Put it this way. My business law class has a whole woke chapter, if you will. Good God, man. I feel so bad for our high school students even, because now textbooks, which are mostly written by woke SJWs, are now starting to become liberalized. It's insane. He the Breathing Fire says, the Inferno storyline is my biggest hope, or was, for the New Mutants. Worth checking out on Wikipedia sometime. Maybe, is there a good YouTube video on it? Frank says, no. No to what? Rogue Baron says, I was kidding about the High Council. Okay, gotcha. So saying no about the High Council. But it takes you so long to get through these comments. But seriously, they've definitely started now by the time you read this. No, they haven't. It's still 7:15, which is, again, why I started early. He the Breathing Fire says... that one with Cannonball and so on was meant to link to the comment prior. Oh, okay. Oh, boy. Fanboy says, I mean, like a conspiracy, man. For some reason, this has all happened to George Lucas up to this point. I mean, this is probably what they were working towards. What, though? Fanboy, you gotta give me context. Stop doing all caps. Give me some context and explain what the conspiracy is. What happened to... Are you talking about him, him selling Lucasfilm? Are you talking about, like, seriously, give me some context. Come on, man. Help me out. Hiram says, when you said now River wins fatality. River jinxed you when you said now River wins fatality. Yes, River is indeed the victor here. Come here. Duh, I didn't do anything wrong today. Why are you doing this? So for those that weren't here yesterday, this is River, and she's a sweetie. She's a mutt, and I love her. She's an Australian Shepherd and Lab mix, and she's gorgeous. Hi. She's also a strong woman. She is a strong woman. But the greatest thing about her is that she's not a Nazi. Are you? Are you a feminazi? No. No, you're not a feminazi. No, 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 no. No, no, no. Thank you. Thank you very much. Love you. That was River. She is amazing. Anyway, PB says, World Class BS are scheduled High Council to go live at 8 p.m. That's what I thought. Fanboy says, trying libs trying to get Star Wars, man. Well, I don't think it's conspiracy because at the end of the day, George Lucas sold it. So I don't think it's conspiracy because George Lucas sold it. I don't think he was forced to sell it. I'm not going to buy into that. Let's see. Rogue Baron says, also, as we vlog, you said to support Liam Neeson movies because he is being attacked. He is a bad, good cop in Lego Movie 1 and 2, so we can show support there. All right, sounds good, man. Leon Bowman says, I'm checkmark you out later. I'm like you out later. I'm keeping watching your vids and keep laughing. Well, Leon, thank you very much for stopping by, man, and for the support. Cassandra Artist, every time I watch Odin, EVS, Geeks and Gamers, YouTube makes me watch a woke commercial first. Are you serious, Cassandra? That doesn't surprise me. Does that really surprise you, though? Like, honestly, like, they're like, oh, but before you watch this common sense, let's try and get some propaganda in your face first. B-Bye says, Willow is moving slightly in the background, but causes a little optical effect, makes it look Voltan is stroking your beard. Really? That's awesome. That's pretty cool. Alex Martinez says, I usually have zero expectations for any movie. This is why I did this for Iron Man 3. I was so hyped and came out so disappointed. That's when you have zero expectations, you're good. And you're talking to a guy that actually liked Iron Man 3. And that's the reason why I liked Iron Man 3 is because I went into it expecting a Shane Black movie, and I got a Shane Black movie. If I had gone in expecting an Iron Man movie, I would definitely have been disappointed. But I overall liked it. Marvel Man TV says, have you seen Kick-Ass and Kick-Ass 2? And what is your opinion on Hit Girl, if you have seen it, of course? Love the first Kick-Ass. Second Kick-Ass sucked. Just, I'm going to be honest. I mean, overall, when I say it sucked, I mean, it just does not compare to the first film. I had fun with it. It was enjoyable overall. Oh, wait, do you want to be on camera too? You're giant, though. No. Okay. All right, and this is my other dog. This is Willow. Yeah. She doesn't come up here as much because she's just gigantic. She's like almost a full foot taller, it seems, than River. But this is Willow, and she's my sweet baby. She's very pointy, too, though. Hi. Hey. Yeah, she's not a feminazi either. Nope. She's a strong, independent lady. Mwah. Love you. All right. But anyway, so Kick-Ass 2 was okay, but Hit Girl, overall, I liked her very much in the first movie, and then the second movie, I was just like, I don't care about her as much, personally. Interesting concept, nonetheless. Hyper says, I didn't mean for this particular movie to be remade. Just meant something like, what if you imagine them being animated from an interesting perspective? Would it be cool? Again, I'm not going to answer just because I don't want any movie to be remade. Zenwater says, am I the only one who heartily dislikes Taika Waititi's Thor that never lets you sit in an emotion and really feel it? Too much bathos. I love it, though, because, as I said, the character needed to be rebooted, and so they took it as a full-on comedy, and I think it worked, personally. It actually gave a character to Thor. It actually gave something entertaining to that character, so that's why I love it personally. Greta says, sorry to bring up the Oscars, but it's your title. What do you think about the category thing? Yes, Greta, thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, it is indeed because it was something I wanted to talk about. So for those that don't know, the Oscars have decided this year to have certain Oscar categories be revealed during commercial breaks. And the categories were revealed today, and they include things like editing and cinematography. Now, if there's any two categories that should be like put into the break, in my mind it would make more sense to do short films like things that really aren't seen as important by a lot of people. Now, I'm not trying to downplay or downgrade anyone that does short films, because I think no matter what, you're going to be hurt, like someone's going to be offended. But the fact that you put editing and cinematography, which are two key components to any film, in the commercial break is just silly to me, especially when you have a category, Best Original Song, that has become such a freaking joke that I think they should do away with the category altogether. But I digress. That's why we're doing our own award show. Yes, guys, we are doing our own award show. We are boycotting the Oscars February 24th on this channel. There is a ballot where you can vote for your favorite and least favorite movies and people of 2018. And the winners will be revealed live on this channel on February 24th. So Valkyrie, please go ahead and post a link to that ballot. And guys, please vote. Make your voices be heard. It's Trap Production says, "Good evening, my lord. I've just returned from the kitchen. I made fajitas." Well, thank you very much for coming here. Fanboy says, libs trying to get Star Wars, man. Not buying into it. Harvard says, like for me, I would love to imagine what a Lord of the Rings movie would look like in Ghibli form. Just something fun to think of, not trying to say it's a good idea for any movie to be remade. Okay, yeah, I mean, I understand where you're coming from. And honestly, I think that would probably be one of the cooler things to see remade in a Studio Ghibli film would be the Star Wars films. But overall, I don't even want to see it. Super says, all the movies and TV shows I want to be made, I don't think will ever happen. DC Comics was like a whole sub-universe dedicated to magic, spirituality, and it's so damn cool. Nice. Will Gentry says, not only are they adding fully woke textbooks written by hardcore third-wave feminists, but they are also removing lots of classics because they're written by white men or have anti-SJW points of view, which is what they're going to do. Like, that's just what they do. Frank says, it's my friend River, thank you. Oh, man, oh my God, this is from a while ago. Everyone's freaking out about River. Frank says, it's my friend River, thank you. You're welcome. Hybrid says, apologies if it seemed like I was repeating the answers, just wanted to be specific and clarify on what. No, Hybrid, I totally understand where you're coming from, man. Peabody says, River is the official beard cleaner. Yes, she is. She is great. Donald Hudson says, how goes it, new citizen of Asgard? Donald Hudson has hit 50 hours. 50.17 hours for Donald Hudson. He is now officially a citizen of Asgard, and he is a dedicated man. Hey, calm down. That's some toxic femininity back there. PB says, I am watching the Brie Larson interview on Ellen. Someone told her Captain Marvel can move planets. Is this true? She's really pissing me off. Shouldn't she be charismatic to get me to go? Yeah, you would think that she would do that. You would think that they would be telling her, be charismatic, be exciting, be someone that they want to go see, be a likable person. Go ask Gal Gadot. She was able to do, she was able to convince a lot of people just by being a really genuine person. She can't do that though because she's woke. But yes, apparently in the comics, in the reboots of the reboots of the reboots of the new Captain Marvel wokeness, she is powerful enough to move planets. Yep. That's what we're getting. That is what we're getting now. Heather Marine Fire says, if you look this up, it explains in a nutshell, magic explained in minutes, comic book. All right, Heather Marine Fire, if you can send that to me on Discord or direct message on Twitter or something like that, that way I will remember it. 8-Bit Snake Boy says, does anyone have the link to Odin's alternative Oscars? I need to vote on that ASAP. My Valkyrie should be able to do that. I know Willow is adorable. I know, yes, all the Willow love. She was great. Hyman says, should have been Orange Man 3. Build those suits to build a wall. Oh, man, that'd be great. Talk about, if you want to piss off, here's Ethan Van Sciver. This is what, EVS. This is what your next comic book needs to be. Orange Man. If you can make and sell and raise a crap ton of money for a comic book series about Donald Trump as a superhero. Oh my God. Someone please tell that to EVS, because not only would I support that, but to see the reaction from the SJWs would just be like beautiful. I would want someone to make a documentary about the entire experience. So guys, on the High Council tonight, tell EVS that Odin says he needs to make a comic after he's done with Cyberfrog. He needs to make an Orange Man comic. And yes, oh my God, guys, let us make this happen. Anyway, Will Gentry says Hit Girl and Kick Ass were cool characters, but the first film was a lot better than the sequel as usual. No question in my mind, like so much better. Scarecrow already voted on Odin's Oscars. Well, thank you, Scarecrow. Appreciate that. Greta says Guillermo del Toro said the announcement pissed him off and that editing and cinematography are the heart of the film. And he's absolutely right. And I totally support Guillermo there because it's so true. It to me is a slap in the face to the very heart of filmmaking itself. Because without cinematography and editing, you literally have nothing. You have nothing to stand on. It is absolutely insane. Anyway, here's an update on the video that all the SJWs are hating. So 248 likes to 141 dislikes. So the likes seem like they're going up at a steady pace, while the dislikes seem to be dying out. Damn right. Alex Martinez says, I love Thor, and Taika Waititi made the best Thor movie and version of Thor ever. Ragnarok is my number 5 on the top 10 MCU movies. Thor Infinity War wouldn't have been Thor without Taika Waititi. Martinez, you're right. You're absolutely right. And I like Taika Waititi. I think he's great. And to be honest, everything that he said, like, seriously, if you're also a Star Wars fan, keep this in mind. Taika Waititi did an interview recently where he said that his plan for the episode or episodes he's going to be directing and being a part of the creative process for The Mandalorian, for the new Star Wars series, he said that he wants to make it feel like original Star Wars. Because he says, and I quote, that's what the fans expect. And that's what the fans want. So I have so much love and respect for the guy. Is he perfect? Is he going to be like is he my savior? No. But what I'm saying is that he's at least someone in Hollywood that I can actually respect and can actually look forward to, you know? It's a very rare thing these days. It's a very, very rare thing these days, it seems. Let's see what we got here. Dallas says, so hyped for the Ravens. Dude, I am too. I just hope I can make it live up to it. Greta says, I bet you that this year's Oscar ratings will be so bad that the people who are running it will be fired and it'll be different next year. Just a theory. Greta, I think you're right, because the ratings were already going to look bad, but now you've given them even more reason to not watch it. Oh, but Black Panther got a nomination. That's going to give more people reason to not watch it. Like, seriously. They've already been a joke for a long time. Tina says, we already posted the link to the anti-Oscar awards. I are always at the ready. Y'all are always great. Seriously. Will Gentry says, talking of movie awards, did you see the BAFTA threw Black Panther a bone by giving it the best score award? Odd choice, if you ask me. I only saw the 3 films last year, and Black Panther was the 3rd best. Meaning it was your least favorite. Yeah, the fact that it won score to me is ridiculous. And the fact that it got nominated for as many things as it did is ridiculous. And it's totally, and I'm sorry, you know, trigger warning, here are some facts, because facts don't care about your feeling. The only reason why Black Panther got as many nominations as it did is because the vast majority of the cast and the director and a lot of people behind the scenes are African American and are black. That is the reason. It's not because it's the best movie. It's not because it's even one of the best movies of the year. Is it a bad movie? No, I would say it's not. Is it a great movie? No, I would say it's not. Is it a decent movie? Yeah, absolutely. It's one that I could have it on the background probably. I would never want to sit down and really watch the whole thing again because I don't really feel the need to, like some other films that have come out. And I think Wakanda was handled much better in Infinity War than in any part of Black Panther, not let alone the effects. But yeah, a little bit of facts for you guys. Super says, I didn't think it was possible for the Oscars to fail any harder than they did this. After alienating all the normies, now they're coming after what's left of their audience. Yeah, seriously. Laura, what's going on, Laura? How's it going? James Hancock says, what's the ballot link? I'll tell my non-SJW Facebook friends. Well, James Hancock, thank you for that. So my Valkyrie should have posted it for you, hopefully, and then you can send it to them. Yeah, absolutely. Send it out to as many people as possible. Let's get as many votes as we can. Edward Coleman says, I was outside Lucasfilm, and all I could hear was Ryan Johnson singing, I'm Sharonry. Don't think he's getting his trilogy. I don't think he is either. They would be stupid to do that. Alex Martinez says, I live in Texas. They are scrubbing the history of Native American genocide for public schools. This is beyond enraging to me. If you don't know history, you're doomed to repeat it. Just Sam right. Like, seriously, it's like the people who try and censor books because they have, like, the N-word in it. And I'm thinking to myself, no. Don't do that. Let these kids know that this is how things were like, that this is how people actually thought. Because as you said, if they don't know that, then yes, if you don't know your history, you're indeed doomed to repeat it. Stop trying to literally whitewash everything. Stop trying to pretend like the bad things never happened. We should be talking about the fact that slavery was a thing. We should be talking about the fact that there was a Confederate army and that there were people that were fighting for slavery. We should be talking about that kind of stuff. We shouldn't just ignore it. I'm in New Orleans right now, and they're trying to take down statues of Confederate monuments. And I'm like, don't. Let it be up there. Let it be a sign and a symbol of what this used to be, of how things used to be. Because if we don't have that, if we don't have those symbols, both the good and the bad, how can we truly know? Seriously, as the old adage goes, know thyself. How can you know thyself if you decide, oh, I'm only going to remember the good things I've done in my life. I'm never going to remember the bad. Guess what? If you don't remember the bad things you've done, you're going to have no motivation to be better. You're going to have no motivation to do better. The same thing works in history. So that is just so ridiculous, man. Ah, gosh. Super says, when you have a character that has virtually no limits, they are boring. This is one the SJW writers will never understand. Yeah, I agree. And it makes sense, too, especially since Captain Marvel was supposed to essentially be like their version of Superman anyway, which, in my opinion, is one of the most boring characters in the DCEU. So it's interesting that they decided to go in that direction, honestly. Let's see. There's the Wednesday Raven Award link. Posted by Tina. Super says, somebody else in Comicsgate already does Trump stuff. So far, we've gotten Trump, Space Force, and My Hero, Magademia, a manga parody. No, he needs to make Orange Man. The only man that could do justice to an Orange Man comic would be EVS. Alex Martinez says, tell EVS about the Orange Man comic. It's pure genius, and I would buy a copy in a heartbeat. Yes, seriously. That would be freaking hilarious. It would be so damn funny. Tina says, if the downvote are going pausing, that's because they got bored and went on their next topic. Their brains are all over the place. Yeah, seriously. Like, that's their problem too, is that they go for a time and then they slowly, lose energy and they realize, nah, I'm nothing in this life. And it's really sad. It's actually really sad. I feel bad for SJWs. They live a very sad existence. Big Daddy Sunbeam says, I wouldn't recommend that to EVS considering what went down with Trump's Space Force and Tim Lin. Well, you know what? At the end of the day, go ahead. Seriously. Make it, dude. Screw them. Screw them. You'll sell a crap ton of copies. You'll get a crap ton of support. Just do it. Just do it. Let's see. Hybrid says, I'm hoping Endgame explores more of the cosmos or show different other powerful alien beings affected by the snap. For me, it has to do more in order to top Infinity War for me. And I think they will. I honestly think that it's going to be a very good story. I don't think it's going to end the way that we think. And I really do think that the Russo brothers are the right persons in the job for it. Because I think what they're going to do is they're going to do everything within their power to make it as complex a story as possible. They don't want it to be predictable. They don't want it to just be, oh, Captain Marvel comes in, saves the day. They want it to be, maybe she realizes that she can't do it herself. Maybe she realizes that she needs a man to help. Oh my God. Could you imagine? That'd be the best thing ever, guys. The best thing ever would be if Captain Marvel is woke as hell, and then in Endgame, they make that the storyline that she thinks she can do it by herself, and then she realizes that she needs a man's help. Oh, Russo brothers, please do it. Oh my God, I would be trolling so hard. Greta says they've taken down so many statues, and it's sad. It really is, and it's so funny because they took down the statues and they left up the pillar. So now there's a pillar with no statue on it, and it's an eyesore. So it's like, good on you. Good on you. Intertrap Production says, I hate it when people try to erase history. Every country has a backstory. No one would want to erase what the world did in World War I or World War II. That stuff still affects us to this day, my lord. No, Intertrap, you're right. And it's interesting because that's what some countries try to do. Remember that in, like, I think Germany, or if not Japan, they taught history that didn't cover World War II. They acted like Hitler never happened. They tried to erase it from their history. And it's like, no. Teach them. Show them what it was like. Show them what somebody did. Because it's only then that they're going to really understand why things are the way they are. Super says, what they're trying to do right now is in education is equivalent to terrorists destroying religious imagery. Hiding and destroying things doesn't make them go away. It sets a terrifying precedent. I agree. Interdraft Production says, I will make my own version of Super Day one day, my lord. I promise I'll make him interesting. Yes, please do. Soul Assassin says, have you seen What We Do in the Shadows made by Taika Waititi? Yes, and it's so funny. It's a mockumentary about vampires, and it's very, very funny. Taika Waititi is a very talented guy. Let me just put it that way. Hiram says, same things can work for movies too. It's the reason why character development and arcs work. We ourselves in reality have to view our flaws in order to improve. Damn right. Rhaegar Targaryen says, is this the work of the Carol Corps? Probably. Yeah. Oh, the video? Absolutely. Yeah, the 142 dislikes. No question in my mind that it is from the Carol Corps. No question in my mind. I mean, the Carol Corps are the reason why we're getting Captain Marvel in the first place. So why wouldn't they also be responsible for anyone that attacks our leader and our hero cannot be? And yes, cannot be. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, well, you know, you say, that's my Ryan Johnson voice. Will Gentry says, I could just see EVS doing comic book called Orange Man Good, and give him the superpower of being able to send immigrants home with the snap of a finger. Oh my god. He would too. He totally would. However, says, I don't think it's a good idea for Orange Man to be made, and SJW will break into his house and choke him to death like Bruce Willis did to Orange Man in Unbreakable. Oh man. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's like, call them out, man. Show them for who they really are. Soul says, oh, in the news about NPCs trying to edit Texas history books is not the worst thing. They've been trying to get rid of the Alamo cenotaph. It's so messed up. God. Hybrid says, some theories have popped up about Thanos' grandfather Kronos is probably going to be in the movie, and you know something is wrong when I'm hyped for a cosmic character rather than Captain Marvel. Yeah, sounds about right. Rhaegar says, a favorite radio host of mine even said that teaching the Alamo is even controversial in Texas. Why? That's so stupid. Remember the Alamo. Frank says, history is just that, history. You can't change it. Darn it. Never forget it. Darn it. Never forget it. Yeah, seriously. Never forget it, man. Alex Martinez says, you know what is funny? Brie Larson wouldn't be where she is without the fact that she couldn't be famous without the help of a white man. I know, the horror of the patriarchy. I know, seriously. You realize that Captain Marvel would not exist without Marvel? Oh my god, she relies on a white man. Oh god. It's so funny. All right, well, I've caught up with the chat. Greta says, those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it. Damn right, you are correct. So let me go to a shout-out to my patrons one more time before we start to wrap things up. A. Grey Jedi, Adam Shawhan, Dave Bob, Delete System 32, Edward Coleman, Enrique Evangelista, Frank the Tank and the Shawhan Wiener Dog Clan, Greta Zenner, Harold Francis, the Hunky Chunky, Funky Monkey, Inflamed Wood, It's a Trap Productions, Jason Clark, Jeffrey Toon, Jonathan, Laura Story, Matthew Kadish, Mr. Peabody and his evil twin, Outpost Dyer, Perpetual Punster, Pro Josh Sharif, Proper Jeremy, The DJD Show, Those Two Ball Guys, and Tina B, and Wolfgang Lange. You're all amazing, beautiful people. Hyman says, question. In your opinion, do you think Thanos' Infinity Gauntlet will be remembered this time like other iconic props? Example, like the One Ring Indiana Jones whip lightsaber. It already is. I mean, are you kidding me? Like, just doing this brings out the emotions of several people saying, oh my god, the Thanos snap. Like, someone spoiled the movie for one of my coworkers because all they did was say, well, and because he had read the comics, he was like, oh, well, I know what happens. So, absolutely, it's going to be remembered that way. Alex Martinez says, yeah, they also want to get rid of the Alamo. Oh, yeah, guys, it's controversial and problematic. Screech, screech. So true. Shawhan, thank you, good sir. Shipper says, Odin, the dislikes are actually the work of an enemy stand. Sorry, I had to. 10 points to anybody who gets that reference. Nico says, when's your next live stream? The next planned live stream is going to be on Saturday for the movie night stream, but sometimes I will come on randomly if I can or if there's something going on. And obviously, too, if anyone invites me on, sometimes what happens is some other channels usually do live streams during the week, and sometimes they'll invite me, and I'll join those. Sometimes it's planned, sometimes it's just at random. So as far as live streams on this channel, the next official one is not until Saturday. But I will, of course, put one up if indeed I plan to do one before that. Krista Joe says, what are your thoughts regarding Ellen Page flipping out on Chris Pratt? I think that it is I think that the anti-Christian hatred that she shows is insane. That's what I have to think about that. Chris Pratt being a part of a church, like, to me, that's also the future of our own country. It'll be very soon in our country, in the United States, where just being a Catholic means that, oh, you're a part of a hate group. And I mean, even Chris Pratt himself is not a Catholic. But even to be like a Christian or to have traditional beliefs would be hateful, and therefore you're part of a hate group, and it's hate speech, and then eventually they're going to try and go after hate speech and say hate speech is not protected speech, and then it's going to be this whole thing, and it's going to be really bad. And then it's just going to be like in the UK, where you can say there are only two genders and then get arrested. Yeah, that happened, by the way. Look it up. Someone misgendered somebody or said that there were only two genders and got arrested in the UK because they don't have free speech like in the United States, which is why I love this country so much. Let's see. Peabody says, removing history is like building a house, then deciding to remove the foundation. Yeah, pretty much. Favorite candy, Patrick Duff says, I love Twix. Twix is pretty good. Milky Way is great too. By the way, Adam Shawan finished all the chocolate like 2 weeks ago, and man, it was so good. Thank you again for sending me all that chocolate. If you want to send me chocolate, I have a PO box, and I will accept. If you can't donate money, I'll take chocolate. I'll take whatever you have. As long as it's chocolate and there's no nuts in it, I'll love it. The Rant says, "Hey Odin, when are we gonna stream again? Let me know. Keep me posted." Modern Dude says, "Keep up the good work. Thank you very much." Heathen Breathe Fire says, "Just finished your survey." Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Adam Shahan says, "Odin loves Twix." Damn right I do. Greta says, "I think it was a girl on Twitch and she got permanently banned." That happened, but then a mom got arrested in front of her kids because I think she misgendered somebody. Real story. Look it up. Happened in the UK. Shine says, "You are welcome, Odin. We sent chocolate pig ears and pens." Yeah, they actually had some of the pig ears before the stream. At the very beginning of the stream, they were eating the pig ears still. Will Gentry says, "I was about to say, be glad you're not here. People are getting arrested left and right and center for offending people. One guy had the cops come around to literally check his thinking because of a tweet." Wow. Damn, that sucks. Harman says, "Willy Wonka is where it is at, baby. You know not know the way, my brother." Sure. One Bridge says, "Why is it okay to attack Christians?" One Bridge, you're exactly right. So he asked the question, why is it okay to attack Christians and not Muslims? It's a great question. It's because of, as the famous Ben Shapiro says, there is a culture of victimhood, and it's the whole identity politics game. If you check off so many boxes, your victimhood rises. And if your victimhood rises, it means you can pretty much do anything that you want. So, for example, there is a Muslim woman, congresswoman, who is a blatant anti-Semite, but is totally protected, is not facing any repercussions from her party or from anything else because she's protected. Because she's Somali, she's a woman, and she's Muslim. And it's because she fits all those criteria that she is protected in that way. So, yeah, it's totally hypocritical of them to do that. Alex Martinez says, "I'm a Christian and a conservative. Also, gasp, I'm Hispanic." Oh my God. "And I'm not brainwashed like they want me to be. I'm an individualist and know every single person is unique in their own person." Damn right, dude. Amen. Seriously. Amen to that. Steph says, "I just saw that about the Twitch girl and Odin's UK story. The man looks like a man with lipstick." Yeah, seriously. 8-Bit Snake Boy says, "What the hell is going on these days? It's like the stupids took charge. Most of the actual people who live here in the UK don't buy any of this BS, believe me." Well, based on the very fact that when you have an actual referendum, when you have an actual vote, it shows. So I believe you on that one. Super says, "It's also true that UK citizens have been arrested for calling the former prime minister a wanker, making their dog on Nazi." And the UK police regularly tweets about investigating transphobia. God. Oh my goodness. Dead Red Herring says, "Would you maybe want to be part of an episode of DRH? Contact me, man, and we'll see what we can do." Shine says, "God bless us all while we are allowed to say it." And seriously, because pretty soon you can't say God bless because, oh my gosh, no, that's hateful. How? How is that hateful? Zenwater says, "I know I've talked a lot about being a celibate gay Christian and everybody accuses me of having internalized homophobia. I roll. I've been out since 14, but whatever." Yeah, and Zen, as I said before, man, my prayers and thoughts go with you, man, because I know that cannot be easy for a variety of different things, most especially people not accepting you for who you are. And what I mean by that is people not accepting the fact that you recognize who you are, recognize your desires, but also recognize that because of your faith and because of your belief in God and because what you know to be a gift from God, you choose to not act upon those feelings. And the fact that people don't accept that and don't accept you is just really sad. So thank you for sharing that with me again. And seriously, man, I'm with you. I stand by you. And I support you. So you've got a Christian brother right here, man, who will be there right next to you to support you in front of all this nonsense. Alex Martinez says, "I know that for the fact that the Confederate statues at the Capitol in Austin will be complained about and protested by the NPCs probably." And it's also sad because Texas is slowly becoming more blue, which is really, really scary when you think about it. Soulzan says, "My brother's Odin, my brother's is the army and my brother is in the army and is stationed in Germany. He told me that he was told by his superiors not to bring up World War II in certain places." Oh my God, yeah, that is very weird. Wow. Myron and Dude Thing says, "Why don't these SJWs understand what the word Nazi means?" Yeah, seriously. National Socialists, look it up. It's not the same thing, I swear. Greta says, "Censorship is getting scary now." Seriously. Seriously. The fact that you can get in trouble for saying there are only two genders, which is a biological fact, is insane. Absolutely insane. Will Gentry says, Odin, it was Count Dankula. He taught his girlfriend's dog to raise one paw every time he said, do you want to gas the Jews? Obviously, it was an edgy joke, but he was deemed a hater and is now unemployable. Will, that's a tough one for me because I think that he should have the right to do it. No question in my mind. However, if I were to find out about that, I wouldn't hire him personally. But that's just me. That, yeah, Will, that's a little too on the nose. That's I don't know, but see, that one's a tough one. That one's a tough one for me because that one's almost a little too extreme. Harmon says, oh my God, Odin, I'm so triggered because I'm Muslim. Just kidding, but I love your dogs, honestly. Oh, well, thank you. Appreciate it. Zen says, thanks so much. It means a great deal. Zen, seriously, man, I'm right there with you. Seriously. Solomon, what's going on? Shazam box office prediction from the top of your head without the early numbers. 400 to 550 million worldwide. Yeah. It's a comedy. It's a comedy, and comedies have kind of a standard of how much they can make, and I think it's still going to do well, and that's still like if it makes 4 to 550, that is very successful. So that's what I think. Per comment says, don't mention Z-War. Don't mention Z-War! Heather Breathe the Fire says, also a few years ago, in like 2014 or so, they took down the H.P. Lovecraft Hugo Award for literary excellence on the basis of him being a racist in a time that everyone was. Oh my gosh. It's like the same people trying to say, oh, our founding fathers sucked because they owned slaves. Yes, owning slaves by them sucks, and we should talk about it, and we shouldn't ignore it. But to try and say that, therefore, that does away with everything good that they did, and that all the great things that exist in the Constitution would be insanity. Lord. Can you say dank? I said dank, modern dude thing. Alex Martinez says, these lefties are the real fascists. Churchill said it himself. The new fascist will be the anti-fascist. I totally agree with you. Per Comic says, I wouldn't hire Count Dacula to walk my dog. That's about it. Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah. Super says, but the thing about Dankula is his joke didn't make him unemployable. The police searched the internet for his video and arrested him, dragging him through the court for a year, costing thousands. Yeah, that is not okay. He should not have been taken to court. That is ridiculous. I am totally against that, because his speech should be protected. Now, him being hireable, that is something very, very different. Because as I said, you have a right in this country, thank God, to say whatever it is you want to say. But at the same time, you can still have repercussions for what you say, at least as far as private employers are concerned. So, yeah. But yeah, the whole going through court thing, that's ridiculous. TR French says, Dankula was trolling his girlfriend with an overly cute dog. It was a joke. And then again, as I said before, should not have been arrested for it. Hiram says, can we agree, objectively speaking, that Captain America's pajama spandex as the first Avengers movie was horrendous to look at? There were a lot of things in the first Captain America movie that was not good. Super says, he said he wasn't a bigot, but his judge legit told him, your video promotes bigotry, in my opinion, thus you are Nazi. Now, that's ridiculous. Again, that is ridiculous. I do think it's an uncouth joke. However, I don't think it's something that should be arrestable. That is ridiculous. Alfredo says, the sad part is all this insanity comes from the root of ignorance. The other side of that coin proves to be sinister to the leftists that actually know history but manipulate people to push. Modern New Thing says, most of my friends believe whatever the news says, the fake news. Yeah, I mean, again, I think that it's dangerous to call everything fake news. However, when the news media doesn't help itself by producing a lot of fake news on a daily basis, it is really sad. It is really sad. Marvel Man, I do have an email, odinsmovieblog@gmail.com. Hyman says, oh, I mean the Joss Whedon one. Okay, gotcha. Anyway, guys, so it is 7:50, so I want to give you guys plenty of time to go to the bathroom, get your drinks together, get your snacks together for anyone that's going over to the High Council. And I've been going for about an hour and 38 minutes or so my voice is getting tired. Rhaegar says, Hugo Weaving, Red Skull, and Captain America, yay or nay? Both. There are parts I really like. I love Hugo Weaving, but at the same time, the campiness was just didn't match up. He was being very serious, and the campiness didn't match up to it. Will Junior says, yeah, that's the bit I couldn't fit in the comment. He was properly railroaded by the court system. Good news is, though, he still, to this day, hasn't paid the fine. Well, thank God for that. The fact that he had to pay a fine at all is ridiculous. That is stupid. Nico says, can we get it's a trap? Yes. Be careful, it's a trap. As Bernita says, to push their agendas, it's the fact of reality now. This is Hollywood is the worst, let alone the Democratic Party now. Good God, you're totally right about that. A worthy chat, Lord, says Buck Rogers. Well, thank you very much, good sir. And guys, thank you all so much for joining us tonight. This has been a fun chat. 106 people still watching. Damn, son. Please smash that like button. Make sure this video is over 100 likes. And also, if you've not gone over to the video that I did today, please go drop a like on it. Even if you can't watch all of it, I understand. Drop a like on it, make those SJW feminazis upset, and also lose the like to dislike battle, because that is what needs to happen. JRMO220, you deserve more super chats. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for your donation. It really is awesome. Frank says, thank you. Thank you, good sir. Soul says, there is still hope. The chat is aware of the box nonsense. Yes, indeed. Hyperin, you have a good night, too. Dead Red Herring says, great show. We'll send a DM on Twitter. Sounds good, my brother. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching. You are all amazing and beautiful people. Have a wonderful evening. Enjoy the Hound Council tonight on the World Class BSers channel. They're awesome. If they invite me over, I'll be ecstatic. If not, that's okay, too. Peabody, you have a good night. Valhalla, thank you for being in this chat. I love seeing that name right now. Guys, seriously, I love you so much. Peace and love and prosperity. And as always, I don't know why I just said that. Thank you guys so much for watching. To all the patrons out there, to everyone that's been here, to all of everyone who donated tonight, thank you so much. And seriously, you're awesome. Have a wonderful evening, and God bless.